We ask our mentors and guides to support, guide us, and inspire Bernadette to share a few words with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. So before we start with the topic of today, I want to remind of our family and friends spirited retreat. We have been doing this for 20 years in the country and the East Coast. And since COVID, we did this online, and then we started doing this in person, outside, sharing with other parts of the country. And here in San Diego, this is the third time, and it is a fun time. We go to Mission Beach from 11 to 2 p.m. with food, games, and after that, we just have family time. We play. Some kids go in the water because it's always sunny and fun, and it's really good. So we will send you more information about it, and we can't wait to see you there. All right, we will start. Anisi, would you please turn off the music? Okay. So the topic of today is good and evil. And I was thinking, what am I going to say? And when I see the word evil in English, it's kind of so strong. Oh, you are evil, or there's something evil in the person. It's so strong. So I struggled using that word and when I was preparing myself. But we all have the battle inside of us, right? What is good, evil. So we would talk about that. We would define what is good and evil. And according to the Spiritist philosophy. And then we will talk about some of the questions and answers of the Spirit's book that helps us to understand better the concept of good and evil. First of all, we are not here to judge anybody and to say you are an evil person, or it's just reflect about it and take it with you whatever works for you. So when we watch TV shows, most of the time we see all this battle. There is always something that's happening in movies, or the superheroes trying to fight the evil, or what's going on in the world, saving the world. And if we look, it also represents us, because we are the world. We have our own inner worlds, and we are trying to handle what's going on in our lives, that inner battle, right? And if you never read or watched the movie Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, we have a little bit of darkness inside us. But am I a bad person? Well, let's start a little bit. What is good and evil? According to the Spiritist book, how can we distinguish between good and evil? What's the definition? Right? So the Spirits tell Kardec that good complies with God's law, and weakness diverges from it. Therefore, to do right is to comply with God's law, and to do wrong is to violate that law. So good, you're following God's law. Evil, you're not following God's law. What's God's law? Love. Everything that's good for us, right? Positive, goodness, charity, giving, forgiving. So when we don't follow that, it is more like evil. And when we do that, it is more like good. But let's continue. How do humans have the means to distinguish good from evil? How do you know it's good and evil? How do you know? How to distinguish? Can I distinguish? Well, good, we feel good. We know when it's something good. We also know when it's something evil and when it hurts us, when somebody does something to us, or when we see something. We have that perception. And if we consider that's following God's law, we can stop and think. Then yes, when they believe in God and truly wish to do what is right, God has given human rights intelligence to distinguish between them. God gave us the free will. And we are able to distinguish what is good and what is evil. But it's our choice. But I still was like, it's so much when I think about God, about good and evil. Again, he's struggling a lot with the word evil. And that's when I was looking in the book, A Full Life from Joanna de Angelis, and she clearly defined what was evil. She said, the real evil is that in which you harm your neighbor. Done. Okay, I'm good with that. So you're doing something evil if you consciously or if you are harming somebody. But look how beautiful she says. You are not only hurting the person next to you or whoever it is, you're also hurting your future life. You're hurting yourself. And then you have to answer for your actions, right? So for the sake of this talk today, when I say evil, think about an action that harms somebody. That's it. Can we all agree with that? Is it easy? And then there are levels of evil. Harming somebody is calling somebody a bad name and hurt somebody's feelings to the serial killer level. So where are you right now? Where do you think you are? Here is no harm, selfless, harm, selfish. It's about me. It's about what I think. And I harming somebody. Now, if we are here in this planet, it's because we still have some evil tendencies in a sense. We still hurt people once in a while, don't we? So just think about where you are. The fact that you are here today, that means you are much better that side. Right? Just thinking. So what is this? It's about moral progress. And the person that commits that evil, the act of hurting somebody, is because that person has not progressed morally yet or has very limited. That's why it's so important that Jesus was here and teaching us about love, forgiveness, and all the good things. He was an example. But once we are here, whatever level we are, we need to repair the harm. And you can repair the harm in this lifetime, or you will repair the harm in your next life. But we need to repair the harm. But we might say, you know what? It's very nice what you're saying. I like the definition about causing harm, but it's not me. You know, I'm a Spiritist. I go to church. I go to the temple. I know the Bible. Oh, my mom makes me go to the youth group. And I already know all that stuff. Don't worry. I'm not an evil person. You know, when I was reading this and immediately, that's the time that some of you might be thinking, but I know somebody. Oh, I know somebody that is me, right? Not me. Not me, because I'm here giving you the talk. So, well, really, you can say, I'm not that mean. I'm a spiritist, but I am mean when I'm hungry, when I'm tired. Okay? I don't know about you, but when you're sick, you want to be left alone or you want somebody to help you and you have no patience and you want me to be all lovey-dovey, it is hard. And we are human beings. We are trying our best. But I still don't think that I have any evil tendencies. Well, let's think about considering just harming somebody. Well, when you have an argument with your spouse, with your brother, with your sister, with somebody, with your boss, right? So, and we are hurt, what do? Instead of stop and think, we might say things that will hurt somebody because this person's not thinking the way I think. It's about what I believe. That person is not acting the way that I believe is the right way. And when we are hurt, how many times we just want to hurt the person back because our ego is hurt, our pride is hurt. So we may have a little bit of that seed there, are not very good yet, but we have done so much more. Still, I don't do any of these things because I read the gospel according to Spiritism. I do the gospel at home, right? I will never do and say anything. Gosh, how many things I've seen in social media. Comments that harm people. Point of view. How many times we are trying to convince someone that they are wrong? Or they use the media to harm somebody. Today there is so much in politics or whatever it is. So it is still there. We still see it. So the invitation today, even though I know that everybody here from the scale of 1 to 10, we are like 1 or 2, right? Right in the beginning, or whatever it is. Let's stop and think. Are my words and my actions causing more harm or good in the world? What about with my family? What about with work? It's just to stop and think about it because I was thinking about really hard. And there are times that we want to do good and we think we are doing good. I will look here, to Anísio and say, hey, Anísio, what you're doing is so wrong. And I am there thinking that what I'm doing and I'm saying is the right thing. And it might not. And then I found this question in the Spirit's book. As humans are subject to error, can they make mistakes in their judgments of good and evil? Can they believe to be doing right when in reality they are doing wrong? What do you think? Yes. Yeah. I remember one day my friend, she had a very difficult relationship. And she decided she just bought a house and she was going to live there. And then her boyfriend invited her to move out and just be in a small apartment with him. And she was investing so much. And my judgment was, stop and think. You just got at a house and now you're going to move with him. Wait a little bit. You just met the guy. because I was much older than she was and trying to help her. Oh my gosh, she got so offended. So offended. That was my daughter, 18 years old. Mom, I'm in love, I'm married, and get out of the house. What? I'm trying to help. Saying, don't do this. This is crazy. You don't know what you're doing. But I truly believed that when I was saying I was doing the right thing because we love. But actually, the pain and the suffering was even better to this person, to my daughter, to whatever happened, because then they grew up and said, oh my gosh, now I know I should not have done that. And how do we know? Jesus said, do to others whatever you would have them do to you. That sums up everything. You never go wrong. So before we do that, let's stop and think, would I like anybody to tell me what to do, right? Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. So, and then I was thinking, all right, the fact that I'm here and I'm studying this philosophy and doing charity and speaking, that means I'm a little bit better. Not perfect, right? But what if there is somebody that is born in an environment that has crimes, drugs, vices? That's all the person learned. And then I was in the Spirit's book looking, where is the answer? And it said, can the situations in life that human beings often find themselves lead them into vice and crime? The environment led the person to do that, right? That's what the questions. What do we do? Is it possible? And it says, yes. But those very situations are part of the trial that has been chosen by the spirits when free. They haven't chosen to expose themselves to those temptations to acquire the merit of resistance. Of course, there is exception in everything. But the spirits, and Kardec was trying not to go around and say, are you sure? Let me justify why a person is mean. And the spirits are clear there. They're like, no. So the majority of the time, we choose that family. We choose to be born in that place. We choose that mom, that dad, and go, am I crazy? Why would I have a family like that? Why in my, in my life, I would choose to be in this family, to do with a parent that is like that? But before we are born, we don't have the flesh. And we know that some trials are important for us, and we choose them because there is the merit. So, but what if, I'm surrounded by all this, and it is hard. Can I resist? It is hard, but you can. When a person is surrounded by vice, doesn't the impulse to commit vile acts become almost irresistible? The impulse is strong, but not irresistible. Because you can sometimes find great virtues within yourself despite being surrounded by vice. Spirits who remain virtuous in the midst of evil temptations have acquired enough strength to resist temptation and fulfill the mission of exercising a beneficial influence on those around them. So we can no longer complain about our childhood, about the parents we had, because we chose, and it is hard. It is hard. We all have sad stories about our growing up or things that happen in our lives. Some people are more lucky in one area or the other, but it's our free will. We have to work really hard to resist that temptation. But now that we talk about causing harm and the evil in a sense of harming somebody, let's talk about my favorite. That's doing good, right? Let's do good. Let's think about good. Doing good. We teach our children to do good. Jesus did good. How can I do more good in the world? But you say, but look, now that I know that the evil, the definition of evil that we are choosing today is causing harm. So I choose not to harm anybody. From now on, all my choices are I will not harm and hurt anybody. Is it enough? No. Is it enough to simply not do what is evil in order to please God and to ensure our future happiness? Just not hurting somebody is not enough. We must do good. To the best of our abilities, each of you will have to answer for all the evil that has resulted from the good that you have failed to do. So not doing good and harming somebody because we do not do good is evil. Hope I'm not. You were too serious. Am I like I'm scaring you? You can smile right now. Relax. It's okay. Relax. I was like, okay, I'm just not going to harm somebody. I'm just going to be good every day. Like, make sure that I don't hurt anybody's feelings, that I stop and think. But it's not enough. Because we have to do good too. And then we do here mediumship meetings, and we have the opportunity to talk, communicate with some spirits, and we hear many of them that they regret the harm that they did. And they didn't have the chance to repair. And they say, if I could, I would come back. I had so much time in my life and I didn't do it. So are all the individuals, are they capable of doing good? Are you talking about like the one at the level 10? It says everybody loves something. We are God's creation. Therefore, we have the seed of love and the seed of goodness, so we can. Are there individuals who are incapable of doing good? There is no one who cannot do some good. Question 643. Please read the Spirit's book, Good and Evil. That's the chapter there. Only the selfish find no opportunity of doing so. The mere fact of being in contact with other human beings provides the opportunity of doing good every day. We have the opportunity of doing good every day in our lives. For those who are not consumed by self-interest, doing good is not restricted to giving to charity, but also includes being useful whenever your assistance may be needed to the full extent of your power. We talk a lot in Spiritism about charity, about doing good. And I always hear, oh, we need to do more charity. We need to help the homeless. We need to come up with this and that. And we just wait till something shows up. And we just take the right and follow, which is good. We need to do this. But it's clear here saying that it's not only that. We need, what is to be good? To be of assistance whenever the opportunity comes up. Smiling, helping somebody, Me working in the school, one thing that we hear is gossips all the time. Complaining about one teacher, another teacher, the parent, the classroom. I can join, or I can say, oh, no, let's not talk about this right now, or talk about positive things. And then I was listening to a lecture from I think it's Maisa, which I love her, and she told this story about Chico Xavier that I will share with you. We just have 3 more slides, then we are done. So Chico Xavier, he, was helping the community in his center, and there was this guy that had a lot of money, properties, and he always said, Chico, one day I will write you a big check. I will help you, because what you do, you help the people, you help the poor, you need money for your cause, I will help you, don't worry. And he keeps saying, one day I will write a check. One day I will help you, don't worry about it, that one day. But then one day he died. One day he died. And you know what happened with all the property, all the money that he had? His children just destroyed everything, they sold and did all these crazy things. All the money, all the material things that he had for a long time, he worked really hard. Really, really hard. And it was all gone. One day I would do it. One day I'll help. And then one day, Chico was, and I think was his center, and then he looks 2 years later, and the man comes, the spirit, because Chico could see the spirits. And he came and he said, I told you, Chico, I'm here. Today I will write you a big check and help you your cause. And Emmanuel, his mentor, said, guess what, Chico? And who is going to have to tell him that he's no longer in the physical world, that he passed? It's you. You're going to have to tell him. So that man waited for so long. And we do that too. One day I will do this. One day I'll help with the cause. One day I'll be more patient, but not in this lifetime. One day I will stop fighting with my sister or my brother. Oh, one day I'll get a job. One day. But guess what? I could not be here tomorrow, because I don't know if I will have that one day. I really don't know. I just have the faith and hope that I will wake up tomorrow. But I really don't know. If the number, God calls your number, what number do you have there? Your ticket with number? When you go to DMV or whatever, or you have the number, pling, 21, pling. If they call my number tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to say. So let's stop with tomorrow, one day. It is today. You start today. One day you'll be just a memory for some people. Do your best to be a good one. If we die today, what are the memories the people will have? So a couple more of slides that I want to share here with my classroom. There are 2 things. I'm a teacher and I teach 5 years old. There's 2 things that I get sick and tired in my classroom. One is tying shoes. All right. Do me a favor when you have kids or grandkids, or teach your children how to tie shoes, because my back hurts. It is something that is like, by the end of the day, I'm like this. So I love Velcro. And I got really tired. That's number 1. Number 2, tattletale. It's insane, the amount of tattletale. every single day. She did, Miss Leal. Look what she did, Miss Leal. Look, look. He got a pencil, and you told that it's not time to write with a pencil. Oh, look, Miss Leal, what he is doing. And this is all day, and it's in all classrooms. This is one of the most complained with teachers. And when they come and say, stop. Are you going to talk about yourself? No. How are you going to talk about? I'm going to talk about Nathan. Is he hurt? Is it an emergency? No. No. If he has a problem, tell him to come here. So this is all the time. But what are we doing with these kids? I tell them, but this student said a mean word to Maria. Instead of coming to me, I said, okay, what can you do to help? Teaching the child to do good and be a problem solver. What are you going to do about it? Maybe I can tell her that she's being mean and to be nice. Yes, please go and do it. Help me. Help me. But how many times we are just like these kids? We see, I saw what Mark did. Yeah, I go home, Tom, my husband, I'll tell what Mark did. And I'm there telling what he did, or what somebody else did, or what my neighbor did. That's what we are grown ups still doing the same thing. So it's time to take action. Like I tell the kid, what can you do to help? What can you do to solve the problem? Because then we have more good in the world. And we need more good. And why do we still have evil? Like evil, mistaking evil for joy. Because they think it's joyful. I feel the pleasure of doing this, of hurting somebody. I'm seeing here my teenagers here smiling here. So, people that do evil but really to harm intentionally, they are courageous. They dare. And they have no loyalty. Because if one person is being mean and evil with another person, but if this person is doing something that they do not approve, they won't think twice in hurting the other person. So there is no loyalty. But evil ends. Evil ends. Because God is greater. God loves us. And I have some friends here just doing a few things for distraction. But what about good? Good is eternal. Good is loyal. Good is stronger. Good changes people. So no matter how much time we insist or people try to be evil for a long time, it will come to an end. Because love is way more powerful. And we know that. Love is powerful. So, this is a show called The Good Place. Have you ever watched this? Have you? It is funny. If you haven't. And this is the afterlife. And I laugh so hard. And we have some people here that were evil because they harmed somebody when they were alive. But they believe that they are in heaven. Because in their mind, they are good people. But it's so funny at the message because there is a beautiful transformation. Because no matter how many times they tried to be evil, good and love always wins in the end. And to close, there was a story that was in the book Full Life that I was reading about Joanna de Angelis. There is a story about a father that tells his sons, I have 2 empty rooms, and I want you to fill this room completely by using the least amount of money. What are you going to put here that will cost you almost nothing? Stop and think, what would you do? What would you put in that room? And said, and you have some reward. So one son, they said when it was ready, the father came, and the son said, here, father. And he opened, it was very cheap. He filled out the room with hay. It didn't cost much. Go, It was even dark, because when he opened, and here comes the other son. And he opens, and there was a light, a lamp. And he filled out the room with light. And it didn't cost much. So which one? And the father said, you fill out this room, put everything here, the hay, and now it's dark and you light. So our world, our life is that room. Are we going to have light or darkness? It's our choice. Every day we have the choice. Every day is a new room for us. What are we doing? So let's think more about that. Because I know that everyone here has so much goodness, has so much light, that we could just be an example in the world and brighten up the world. Let's just think about that during this week. Thank you.